Well, hello everyone. It's your boy Synth Driver again, posting another useless video that's not going to get watched by anybody. Can Donald Trump run for a third term? Can Donald Trump do this? Can he do that? Yeah, he can. You know, it really tells me a lot about America and Americans generally, that you people don't yet realize that when you live in a government system whose affiliate laws and regulations are only really just polite suggestions to the people who matter, then as long as no one does anything about Donald Trump doing whatever the fuck he wants in the White House, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to in the White House. It doesn't matter whether it's legal or whether or not the Constitution says this or that. It's a moot point because he can just ignore it. What are you going to do about it? What is the Senate going to do about it? What is the courts going to do about it? Well, they're not going to do shit. They don't have guns. They don't have weapons. They don't have the means of enforcing anything. They can tell Donald Trump to stop, please stop. And that's the sum of it. The Founding Fathers really didn't think that much about checks and balances. They didn't see the need for them. They saw the need for a check and balance against their inferiors, the slaves that they owned, the people that they subjugated, the people they genocided. Yeah. America has a two-tiered justice system because of the people who founded it. Go figure. They were a bunch of slave owners. So, of course, there's rules for them and then rules for everybody else. Do you people think Donald Trump is an anomaly or something? Do you think that he's not what the founders intended? Because that is exactly what the founders intended. Donald Trump is George Washington's wet dream. Donald Trump is everything George Washington wanted to be. How do I know that? You know, these people will genocide a bunch of brown skins. They don't think twice about it. They don't even care. You want to know what I think? I think that George Washington thinks that brown-skinned people are second-class citizens, maybe not even human, maybe subhuman, like the Nazis. I think that America is largely founded on Nazi-based principles and ideals, like there being two different kinds of races in the world, and that women are not equal to men, and that men are the natural alpha of the world. White men, to be exact. That's what the founders believed. And now you've got Donald John Trump trumping around in the office, doing whatever the fuck he wants, telling the courts and the Senate to fuck off because he doesn't like what they say. Okay. Well, that was the country the Founding Fathers built. That was the way this country behaved for the vast majority of the time it's existed. People want to pretend like human and civil rights are an established part of America's civilization. No. American civilization is a slave state. American civilization is everybody except me, the white guy, is a second-class citizen by default. People forget that we had to fight the better part of this country's 2 centuries of existence for women's and blacks' rights. And that's not even talking about the rights of other more marginalized groups like trans people or gay people or the whole LGBTQIA plus community. That's just another entire can of worms that we haven't even broached on because we're still dealing with the brown skin problem. The racist problem, to be more exact. It's not the black people that are the problem, it's the racist white guys who want to support the founding frat boys' vision of this country. America is a racist vision. It is a racist country. It is a racist legacy built by racist, slave-owning fucktards who did not care about anybody but themselves. You don't believe me? Ask yourself why the Constitution doesn't guarantee women or children rights. Ask yourself why the Constitution, as it stands now, delineates blacks and whites as 2 different categories of people, as well as women. And then tell me, swear up and down, right to left, that your country is founded on the principles of equality and freedom whenever Every iota, every last bit of history shows this country subjugating, terrorizing, and ultimately slaving free people. That's what this country does. If you are a founding frat boy slave owner, you're fine. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. You don't have to be accountable to anybody or anything. That's what the Constitution says. If you or anybody else, fuck you. Again, that's not what that's not a hyperbolic statement. That's not hyperbole. That's just how America is and was since inception. People who want to deny this want to deny everything that America was and is and still is. Because you think you can reform this shit. Because you think I can fix it. The American flag belongs on the ground with a bunch of piss and shit on it in flames. It is a hate symbol. It is a racist symbol of white supremacy and the natural conclusions thereof. That is America. That is why Donald Trump is ruling this nation as he is now, legally. I mean, fuck, what is legal? Well, it's whatever you can legally get away with, honestly. That's legal. If I can speed at 45 or 50 miles an hour plus in a 30 or 25 zone and no one does anything to stop me, well, that's legal. It doesn't matter what you think. You can tell me all day long about what that fucking piece of paper on the door says. All I have to do is run it over with my car. Power is what dictates the realities of the world that we live in, and all the power lies with rich white men. Because they consolidated it. In the 1700s, that's what America was designed to do, was consolidate power for those slave owners, and they did it successfully. And people want to pretend that that's not what America is. That America is not just the natural conclusion of a collectivized slave owners plantation collective. Just a collection of plantation owners making their mint in the world. I don't support that. Exploitative, racist motherfuckers. But that's how the Founding Fathers saw it, and that's how their legacy sees it. The Democrats want to talk all day long about how they're going to try to reform this country. They're not going to do shit. They are going to capitulate until we are building Auschwitz in my backyard. That's how that's going to happen. It has happened before. There is a historical precedent for it already. And people who aren't paying attention just haven't... I mean, the only thing there is to say here is that people just aren't paying any attention. Most of the people that I see are sitting around with their thumbs firmly shoved up their asses, their heads firmly in the fucking sand. They don't even know what fucking day it is whenever it comes to the political environment that we are in. They can't give you the fucking time of day whenever it comes to the political environment that we're in. Yet they feel entitled enough to tell you that America's my country and it was built for me. Yeah, I'm sure George Washington was thinking about you when he revolted. I'm sure George Washington was thinking about you and all of your possibilities and your potentialities as a woman or whoever the fuck. Anybody but him. No. George Washington was as selfish as the rest of those people. They're all selfish. Fighting for selfish reasons, for selfish gain. Don't kid yourself. Don't let people lie to you and tell you that America is this great, shining beacon, city on a hill type shit of what it means to be God blessed. America is a nation of degeneracy and, I mean, it's a whorehouse of degeneracy, if I don't say so myself. Why? Because that's all this country has ever been known for. Slavery. Okay, then what? Well, if it's not slavery, it's Jim Crow. If it's not Jim Crow, it's lynchings. And if it's not that, it's generally being an inhospitable, shitty fucking place for anybody who doesn't own land, anybody who isn't a white man. It's been that way for the better half of its existence. It's been that way even still today, while people deny it. So please, Spare me your diatribes about how great America was at this non-existent point in time, whenever America was nothing but a slave colony. You brag about that shit, you little Nazi fuck, and you tell me how proud you are of your Nazi, racist fucking grandparents and their shitty fucking legacy. Me, and the rest of us Giga Chad communists, will tell you to go fuck yourself and tell you that everything that fuckwitted, shit-sack, slave-owning frat boy legacy that this shit-sack nation was built on is failed and doomed to fail, and you need to drop it instead of being a petulant fucking child holding onto their fucking pearls.